Cal, a very good friend, and one of the most awesome people I had the luxury of knowing. He was funny, kind, and an advocate for women's rights. He was smart and knew 11 languages, 13 as he was learning Spanish and ASL. Two languages that I'm somewhat fluent in. Mostly Spanish, but ASL I'm learning. Don't know what's wrong with my hair. It was maybe. Oh, there I go. He was also in a loving relationship with his husband. He used he, they pronouns as well, by the way. The first time I met Cal was in a live stream on TikTok. I was in a friend's live and he was talking about how he was getting surgery for his heart. He had just gotten a heart transplant and was happy about it. Yay. Happy for him. At the time, I didn't know he had a lot of health issues, but I was happy that he was healthy. After he got out of the hospital, everything seemed fine until he had to go back. He had a seizure and they went back to see what was wrong. During his time in the hospital, he would make jokes and do silly things such as saying he's gonna jump out of the window and escape. He was bored. And rolling down the hallways in a wheelchair. You know, not like a wheelchair, but you know those office chairs that have the little wheels. Yeah, he decided he would uh would roll down the hallway, which I suggested as a joke. And took then he took seriously and did it because he was bored. He always made us laugh. When I got off TikTok for good, I made one final post saying that people could add us on Discord. Cal was one of the first people to do so. We would check in and he would talk about how he was doing. It was also during this time that I found out he had stage 4 liver cancer. I messaged him yesterday on Discord to check in with him, not realizing he wouldn't respond. The last time I talked with him was in April, and I didn't know. When I woke up today, our mutual friend messaged us saying Cal passed away on May 15th. He was in a lot of pain and wasn't doing well. He had been in a coma, and when the suggested for assisted suicide came up, he took the option. I never got to say goodbye to him, and that's something that I hate doing. I hate not being able to say my final goodbyes to people. This isn't the first online friend we've lost, and I don't know if it will be the last. But the best thing we can do is honor their memory. So, Cal, thank you for being a great friend to me and our mutual friend. Thank you for supporting women's rights and just being your goofy self. I'm happy you're no longer in pain. You're free now. Fly high and rest in peace. 1970 to 2026. I don't know how to feel. I hate when this happens. This is how my grieving works. When we hear news about someone that we were close with, like a family member, a friend, a pet, when we hear that they've passed, that they've crossed the bridge, the Rainbow Bridge, we will cry and then we will be numb. We will enter that depression stage. You know how they say there's 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. Most of us, what we do is we're mostly in, at first, we are in denial. We were in denial when our uncle passed. We were in denial when our friend Kari and our friend Norse passed. I've talked about Kari and Norse on this channel before. Talking about why trans rights are so important to me. And then the depression. The numbness is the depression. We don't feel anything. I mean, we want to do things that aren't good for us. Like, one of our coping mechanisms is we eat gluten, and we have a gluten intolerance, and we eat a lot of it. And that's because we want to feel something other than just the numbness and the grief. So we eat stuff to make our stomach hurt. Nothing like that, or anyways. And then after we felt numb and it gets to night, because I'm filming this at 12:30 in the morning, this is when the grief and the crying starts again. I never met Cal in person. It was online. It was an online friend. I never got to see his face or what he looked like. I have an idea. His Discord profile, I'm assuming, is what he looked like IRL. But regardless, it doesn't matter what he looked like. What matters is that he was one of the nicest people you will ever meet. He was smart, funny, kind. I was amazed that he could speak 11 languages. I'm pretty sure they were German, Dutch. Dutch was his native language. English, French, Swedish, Finnish, and then I can't remember the other ones. But he was learning Spanish and ASL while in the hospital, because he said he had nothing else better to do. He was in the hospital for months until, yeah. I remember I was doing a live stream and he had appeared in the live and he was asking me if I was okay because I was upset. Or he was just checking in. Cal was very accepting of the LGBTQ community, him being a member himself. His pronouns were he, they, and was in a relationship with his husband. I remember him telling me in the chat, so he mostly spoke Dutch, so TikTok would translate, but the translation's not always correct, so I would have to be like, so it says here, is that what you mean, or do you mean something different, because the translation wasn't always correct. But he had said that his brain was feeling fuzzy, like staticky, like buzzing. And when I heard that, my first reaction was, do you need to take a break? Do you need to get off TikTok? Because I had a feeling he was going to have another seizure. I've never had seizures, but I've known people that have had seizures in the past. I know what they look like. I know how they are started. It's basically um an electrical current in the brain that causes the body to twitch. That's the one seizures that everyone's more familiar with is when the body starts convulsing. There are absence seizures where it looks like they're dissociating is the best way to describe it. But when Cal was saying that his head started to feel like buzzing, like staticky, I knew he was gonna have a seizure. And I told him, I feel like you need to get off and take a break. He gets off. He leaves the live stream, and about 10 minutes later, his his husband, Mateo, he enters the live stream and tells me, "You were right. Cal ended up having another seizure." And I was worried. I was like, "Is he okay?" Like, because I know Cal and his husband were watching my live stream because they followed us, and I was like, "Are you okay? Is everything okay? Like, just take your time." I think the saddest thing for me is that I knew deep down Cal wasn't okay. I didn't want to acknowledge the fact that he could pass away, but deep down I knew. Deep down, like, I knew months in advance, like, prior to his passing, that this was going to happen. And it sucks. I didn't want it to because Cal was a fighter. He never gave up. He literally messaged me after I told him I like after he messaged me, we added each other on Discord. I messaged him and was like, "Hey, I hope you're doing okay." And he would say like, "Yeah, I'm fine. It sucks, but cuz he said it's stage 4, which is intense stage 4 cancer, but I'm not going to let it beat me. I'm going to fight." And I said, "Hell yeah, you got this." He never gave up until the pain was still bear it was too much to bear, unbearable, and he decided that it was his time. I've never lost a friend this before. I lost a friend to suicide back in 2021. I knew someone who was a system who lost their fight too with depression. And it's harder when it's someone who's older. I mean, Cal was in his 50s. He was about the same age as my parents. It's hard to lose a friend, especially one who's older than you. I just don't want this to be another August, September of 2024. I don't need that again. I will be okay. I'm not great with handling grief, but I think it's easier the when someone who was sick for a very long time passes away. Like, we lost our grandpa back in November, and he was sick for a while, so his time was slowly coming to an end, which um which I had warning for. And his death was hard, but it wasn't like shocking. Um, for Cal, I had warning. And my warning was that initial feeling that he wasn't going to make it. But I wanted him to make it. When our friend messaged us today, how she started the message, because she was sending a voice message, was she had mentioned TikTok and how I was off TikTok due to false allegations, etc., the hatred, the hate and harassment we were facing. And she had said, I've been respecting your boundaries, but. And at first, I thought she was going to bring those up, the allegations up. And then she said, there's something I need to tell you. Because someone had told me you had messaged Cal. And when I heard Cal's name, I knew that he was gone. And, yeah. So it's easier to deal with grief when you have warning about someone's passing, like they're going to pass soon. I don't know if I shared this on here or not, but when my grandpa passed back in November, so he passed literally a week before my birthday, he passed November 4th, 2025. Um, it was like 3, 4 in the morning. Um, we were asleep, and I had this feeling like that someone had come into my room and I felt kind of like that someone was sitting on my bed and they had their hand on my shoulder. When I opened my eyes, there was no one in the room. I've talked about how I'm spiritual, how I can not see, but feel spirits, etc. In that moment when I woke up, internal dialogue, because I was like really confused and really tired, groggy. I had just woken up. But I had said that, why do I feel like that was my grandpa? That was him. I believe it was him. Because the night before, I had prayed. I don't usually pray unless I feel like I need to, and that night I felt like I had to, so I ended up praying. I said, if you are going to take him, can you please give me a sign? I believe my grandpa came to me and told me, "Hey, I'm with God now. I'm just wanted to say goodbye." And you know that feeling when like someone like if you're asleep and someone wakes you up, like they've got their hand or they shake you to wake you up? Does anyone know that feeling? That's what I felt. When someone puts their hand on my shoulder to wake me up, I wake up. That's what I felt, and there was no one in the room. About an hour and a half later, I woke up again, and I could hear my mom had woken up as well. My mom's room is literally right above me. And, it sounded like she was crying. So I got out of bed and I went upstairs, and my mom, she had said, Grandpa passed away an hour and a half ago. And I told her right now, and she said, how? And I told her, because he told me. I don't know what caused me to message Cal, or I do, but I feel like deep down something inside told me that I needed to reach out. Because every single time I reached out to Cal, I would worry that it would be the last time. I was yesterday I was watching one of Oriental Pearl's videos. If you don't know who Oriental Pearl is, her name is Alyssa or Anming, who has lived abroad in Japan for 11, 12 years. She's married to someone who's Japanese. So she does videos where she walks around Japan, speaking to citizens in Japanese, and she knows, excuse me, she knows Japanese, Chinese, uh, Cantonese, Korean, Taiwanese, and she's learning Vietnamese right now. So also a polyglot. And seeing that, I was like, I should probably message Cal and see how he's doing. Yeah. I'm glad I did, and I'm glad that Kelly, our mutual friend, told us. And she was like, "I'm really sorry. I messaged you late. I wish I could I should have messaged you sooner, but there's a lot." And I'm like, "Don't worry about it, because I understand that she has her own issues going on in her life right now." But yeah, so I'll be fine. I hate myself. I'm tired. As you can see, it is 1:45. I'm gonna try and take my meds and try to get some rest. I love you guys. I hope you're having a better day, night, evening, morning than I am. And peace. I'll see you guys soon. Love you.